A flight attendant just broke their silence about what they witnessed at 30,000 feet. What they saw has royal watchers questioning everything they thought they knew about one of the most famous families in the world. Picture this: you're 30,000 feet above the Atlantic, working as a flight attendant on what should be a routine royal tour. You've served countless VIPs, celebrities, and dignitaries. You know how to read people, how to spot authentic emotion from performed gestures. But what you're watching unfold in the first-class cabin doesn't make sense. It's unsettling in a way that stays with you long after the plane touches down. The woman everyone knows as the Duchess glides down the aisle like she's walking a red carpet. Every movement is calculated, every gesture perfect for the cameras that aren't even there. She's playing a role. But which one? The devoted mother? The reformed actress? Or something else entirely? In her arms, she cradles what should be the most precious thing in her world. A baby. Her baby. But something's wrong with this picture. There's no connection, no instinctive maternal bond that you'd expect to see. The child doesn't reach for her. She doesn't automatically adjust her hold for comfort. It's like watching two strangers forced to share the same space. The nanny hovers nearby, and it's the nanny who soothes the child when fussing begins. It's the nanny who instinctively knows what the baby needs. And it's the nanny who the child looks to for comfort. The woman holding the baby? She's focused on her appearance, her seating arrangement, anything but the small human being in her arms. One flight attendant might dismiss this as jet lag or stress, but this particular crew member had worked royal tours before. They knew what genuine family dynamics looked like. They understood the difference between public performance and private reality, and what they were witnessing felt like neither. It felt like deception. But here's where the story takes a turn that nobody saw coming. For years, whispers have circulated in certain circles. Theories about pregnancies that seem to appear and disappear at convenient moments. Questions about hospital visits that were never officially confirmed. Speculation about children who seem to have no resemblance to their supposed parents. Most people dismiss these as the ravings of conspiracy theorists with too much time on their hands. Then she stepped forward, a woman who claims to hold the key to unraveling one of the biggest deceptions in modern royal history. She goes by DL for now, protecting her identity until the moment is right. But her story, if true, would explain everything that never quite made sense. According to DL, she wasn't just a witness to this alleged deception. She was an active participant, twice over. She claims she carried both children that the world believes belonged to the Duke and Duchess, not as a recognized surrogate with legal documentation and proper procedures, but as a hidden participant in an elaborate charade designed to secure royal titles and public sympathy. Her account is chilling in its detail. She describes being taken to a secluded compound during both pregnancies, completely cut off from the outside world. No phone calls, no internet access, no communication with family or friends. She was monitored around the clock by staff who rarely spoke and never answered questions about what was really happening. She delivered both children under conditions of extreme secrecy. She claims no official medical records, no legal surrogacy agreements, no recognition of her role in bringing these children into the world. After each birth, she says she was essentially erased from the equation, as if she had never existed. But DL did something that nobody expected. She kept evidence, ultrasound images with timestamps, hospital bracelets from her deliveries, videos of herself throughout both pregnancies, carefully documenting dates, locations, and physical changes. Phone recordings of conversations with handlers who managed her isolation, medical records that she managed to secure before disappearing from the official narrative. Most importantly, she kept tissue samples from both deliveries, DNA evidence that could prove, once and for all, whether her claims have any basis in reality. This isn't about money or fame, she insists. She's not seeking financial compensation or media attention. What she wants is something far more powerful, the truth, and she's willing to undergo any test, any verification process, to prove her claims. Test me, she says. Test them. Let the DNA speak for itself. But the evidence doesn't stop with DL's claims. Remember that viral moment from 2019? The one where a pregnant duchess crouched down during a television appearance, and her stomach appeared to fold in on itself in a way that defied basic anatomy? At the time, it was dismissed as a wardrobe malfunction or an odd camera angle. Critics who pointed out the strangeness were labeled as conspiracy theorists and dismissed. But viewed in the context of DL's allegations, that moment takes on new significance. Was it really just fabric acting strangely? Or was it something else entirely? Something designed to create the illusion of pregnancy when the real thing was happening elsewhere, in secret, under circumstances that the public was never meant to discover? The hospital visits that were never confirmed by official sources begin to make more sense too. No paparazzi shots of arrivals or departures. No security details posted outside maternity wards. Just carefully staged photo opportunities days later, with perfectly composed images of new parents cradling seemingly newborn babies. If these allegations are true, the implications go far beyond personal embarrassment or public relations disasters. We're talking about children who were granted royal titles, places in the line of succession, and official recognition based on circumstances that may not have been legally documented or properly established. Royal succession isn't just about bloodlines anymore. It's about legal procedures, proper documentation, and following constitutional protocols that have been established over centuries. If children were born through surrogacy arrangements that weren't legally recognized, their royal status could be called into question, not just their titles, but their very legitimacy as members of the royal family. Constitutional experts are already quietly discussing the precedents and procedures that would come into play if these allegations were proven true. The monarchy has faced scandals before, but nothing quite like this. This would require unprecedented legal review, potential revision of official records, and possibly the retraction of titles that have already been granted. The panic behind palace walls is reportedly palpable. Legal teams are working overtime to review succession laws and historical precedents. Advisors are trying to determine what actions might be necessary to protect the institution of the monarchy itself. And at the center of it all, a king who never wanted to deal with this level of constitutional crisis during his reign. Meanwhile, the public relations machine has kicked into overdrive. Social media accounts are suddenly flooded with family content. Videos of children playing, carefully crafted posts about motherhood, and strategic photo releases designed to reinforce the narrative of authentic family bonds. But the timing feels suspicious to many observers. Why the sudden surge in family content just as these allegations are surfacing? Why the need to prove what should be naturally evident? The harder the PR campaign pushes, the more questions it seems to raise. Some of the content itself is raising eyebrows. Videos of children who don't seem to share physical characteristics with their supposed parents. Interactions that feel staged rather than spontaneous. Social media posts that read more like carefully crafted PR statements than authentic parental reflections. The husband in all of this has gone notably quiet. No statements, no denials, no public appearances to refute the allegations. His silence is becoming as telling as any words might be. Those close to the couple describe a man who seems shocked, withdrawn, and possibly realizing that he may have been kept in the dark about crucial aspects of his own family's story. There's a theory that he genuinely believed everything was authentic, that he was as deceived as the public. But there's also speculation that he knew more than he's letting on, that he was complicit in maintaining a deception that he now realizes may be impossible to sustain. The consequences extend beyond personal relationships and family dynamics. Business partnerships are quietly being reconsidered. Publishing deals are being put on hold. Fashion collaborations are being postponed indefinitely. The brand that was built around authentic family values and relatable parenting experiences is crumbling as questions about authenticity multiply. But the most significant consequence may be yet to come. DL isn't finished with her revelations. Reports suggest she's planning to take a supervised DNA test, conducted by an independent third party, with results that would be made public regardless of the outcome. This isn't about creating a media spectacle or generating publicity. It's about establishing facts that can't be disputed or dismissed. If the DNA evidence supports her claims, everything changes, not just for the individuals involved, but for the royal institution itself. The monarchy has survived wars, scandals, and constitutional crises, but this would be different. This would be a fundamental challenge to the principles of succession, legitimacy, and truth that underpin the entire system. It would force a reckoning with deception at the highest levels and require unprecedented action to restore institutional credibility. As the world waits for the next revelation, one thing is clear: the fairy tale that captivated millions may have been built on foundations far more fragile than anyone imagined. The truth, whatever it turns out to be, will change everything we thought we knew about this story. The question isn't whether the truth will come out. The question is whether the institution at the center of this alleged deception can survive the revelation of what may be the most elaborate royal hoax in modern history. And if these allegations prove true, they won't just destroy carefully constructed public images. They'll shatter the very concept of trust between the monarchy and the people who support it, creating a crisis of legitimacy that could reshape the royal family forever. The DNA test is coming, the truth is waiting, and the world is about to discover whether one of its most beloved fairy tales was nothing more than an elaborate, carefully orchestrated lie.